Jake Paul, what up? What up, Jake Paul?
Is there any way, realistic or legitimate way in your mind, you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
I don't feel that Jake Paul's going to lay a glove on Gervonta Davis. I don't feel like he's going to get anywhere near him. There's also this conspiratorial line that a lot of people feel that they won't end up in a ring together, and that it'll go up the kibosh. But
Bro, what is this production?
Oh!
Oh my God.
That nigga got his brain out.
A boxing journalist, Gareth A. Davies, has just issued a stark warning to Jake Paul that's sending shockwaves through the community. Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned professional boxer, is set to face WBA lightweight champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis on November 14th in Atlanta. But this isn't your typical championship bout. It's an exhibition that has the entire combat sports world divided.
Tank is he's been boxing his whole life. Been boxing since a kid, so Jake is good for where he's at. From the business side, I understand, but I think it's just levels.
Jake Paul, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at.
Let's start with the warning that has everyone talking. Gareth A. Davies, a respected voice in boxing journalism, didn't mince words when asked about this upcoming exhibition. In a recent interview with IFL TV, Davies delivered what can only be described as a brutal assessment of Jake Paul's chances. I don't feel that Jake Paul is going to lay a glove on Gervonta Davis. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near him.
I don't feel that Jake Paul's going to lay a glove on Gervonta Davis. I don't feel like he's going to get anywhere near him.
Those are fighting words from Davies, and they highlight just how lopsided many experts believe this matchup truly is. Despite Jake Paul's significant size advantage, weighing in around 200 pounds compared to Davis's 135, Davies clearly believes skill will trump size on November 14th. But Davies isn't alone in his assessment. The boxing community has been overwhelmingly critical of this matchup, with many questioning whether it belongs in a boxing ring at all.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody. Like, I feel like my skills is way better than, like, Floyd. Like, if I'm on my game. Skill-wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody.
Let's break down exactly what we're looking at here, because the statistics are staggering. Jake Paul fights at cruiserweight, tipping the scales at around 200 pounds. Gervonta Davis is a lightweight champion at 135 pounds. That's a massive 65-pound difference. Essentially the equivalent of a grown man fighting a teenager. But it's not just about weight. Paul stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, while Davis measures just 5 feet 5 inches. That's nearly an 8-inch height advantage. Add to that Paul's significant reach advantage, and you have what many are calling less of a fight and more of a carnival act.
If I'm thinking like I'm Tank, I'm probably just going to go out there and try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ. So I see him like outboxing him.
You know, in today's time, you have celebrities and stars that I may never even heard of, but they're rich off of social media. So times have changed, and you have to be able to change with the times.
The fight is officially labeled as an exhibition, meaning it won't count toward either fighter's professional record, when even the promoters won't pretend this is a legitimate contest. What does that tell us about the state of modern boxing? But perhaps the most telling moment in this entire saga came earlier this year when Jake Paul witnessed firsthand exactly what he'll be facing on November 14th. Old footage has resurfaced showing Paul's live reaction to Gervonta Davis's latest knockout victory against Frank Martin in June 2024.
We were yelling so much about him fight somebody your size. His next opponent is, by far, he's the most credentialed guy he's ever fought. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds.
The viral video shows Paul watching ringside, initially appearing confident, even playful, using his t-shirt to casually cover his mouth while making small talk about the TV production. But then, in an instant, everything changed. Davis landed a devastating blow that sent Martin crashing to the canvas, motionless. The camera captured Paul's reaction perfectly. His mouth dropped wide open, hands flying to his head in what can only be described as pure shock and disbelief. The confident YouTuber suddenly looked very, very nervous.
Bro, what is this production?
Oh!
That moment of genuine fear in Paul's eyes tells us everything we need to know about what he truly thinks of Davis's knockout power. And remember, Davis has scored 28 knockouts in his 30 professional fights. That's a 90% knockout ratio. The criticism of this matchup has been swift and brutal. Dylan Danis, never one to hold back, called the fight a joke and compared it to Paul's circus act with Mike Tyson, describing both as selling wolf tickets and just stealing people's money.
And people know where the money is, money talks, especially for these guys that are, kind of out of their prime and washed up. There's only a couple guys out there that bring money fights. So obviously you get blessed when you get me. So I think maybe he's just like, oh, let me talk some shit to him. I can maybe get this fight. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. But I think that's what it is. I think it's him trying to get a money fight. Because let's be honest, he's done with his career. Like he quit in bare knuckle because of a tooth. You're not a real fighter if you give up because your tooth fell out. You just get it fixed after. So yeah, I think that's what it is. I never had a problem with him. He's the one that started it. Yeah, but I'll finish it. I don't care.
But it's not just fellow fighters speaking out. Former UFC champion Michael Bisping delivered perhaps the harshest assessment yet, calling the fight a bit of a mockery of boxing and questioning Paul's real ambitions in the sport. This fight doesn't have the legitimacy or fairness that you'd expect in a high-level contest. It's more of a spectacle than a sporting event.
Jake Paul is taking on, you've seen it by now, Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a man that is a lightweight in boxing. Now, lightweight in MMA is 155 pounds. Lightweight in boxing, 135 pounds. Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds.
Official weight, 227.2 pounds.
That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Even Carl Frosch, the former world champion, while acknowledging Davis could control the fight, expressed genuine concern about potential injury given the massive size difference. His words were chilling. If Jake Paul did land a big right hand and connect on Davis's chin, there's a chance that Davis could be seriously injured by somebody that's 5 stone heavier.
Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think. But the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode. But I hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in, and I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf, and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share, and subscribe to the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
This fight represents something much larger than just 2 men stepping into a ring. It symbolizes the ongoing tension between legitimate sporting competition and entertainment spectacle in modern boxing. Netflix, riding high on the success of the Paul Tyson fight, which drew over 100 million viewers, is betting big on this exhibition. But at what cost to boxing's credibility? The lightweight division, where Davis holds the WBA title, is packed with legitimate contenders like Raymond Muratalla, Shakur Stevenson, and Lamont Roach, who fought Davis to a controversial draw earlier this year. These fighters deserve title shots, not exhibition paydays. When a sports champions choose entertainment over competition, when size advantages matter more than weight classes, and when exhibitions generate more buzz than legitimate title fights, we have to ask, are we watching boxing evolve or watching it die? So what happens on November 14th? For Jake Paul, this represents his biggest test yet, facing an undefeated world champion with devastating knockout power. A loss would be humiliating given his massive size advantage, but a win, that could legitimize his entire boxing career overnight. For Gervonta Davis, the calculus is different. He's facing criticism for taking this fight instead of rematching Lamont Roach or facing other top contenders. But the payday is reportedly career-high money, and the Netflix exposure could elevate his profile to new heights. The problem is, in a sport where legacy matters, where championship lineages stretch back decades, what kind of legacy are we building with exhibitions between mismatched opponents?
Shit on cement. 25 clear, my first time driving, this bitch kinda quick. I fuck with Miami, it's hot, it raining, that's
Yeah, I'm
the type
fighting
of
though.
shit. So I blame one off
Yeah, I'm
and
fighting
sick.
Jake
Don't like
Paul.
I don't fuck with Quake and Chucky, only fuck with Trish. Alpha triple high as shit. Throw my cup filled to the brim. Fox BD touch me jelly ranch. My outfit cost Cali Ram. And my cup cost a phone bill. Every time these niggas woofing, we hit Boston, leash spill. We don't need pills to go kill. We suit up, do this for real. We didn't give out plenty spanking, started rap so I could chill. But shit go on, be for real. They still want white team me still.
Yeah, I'm fighting him soon, fam. Just want to let y'all know I'm doing good, fam.
As we count down to November 14th, Gareth A. Davies' warning to Jake Paul echoes in our minds. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near him. Whether Davies is right or wrong, one thing is certain. This fight will be watched by millions, generate massive revenue, and continue the debate about where boxing is headed. That's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching Boxing Central, and we'll see you next time when we continue to follow this controversial matchup all the way to fight night.